Hi Leo, welcome to Lit Intuition Tarot, Twin Flames in Recovery. My name is Kay. So the last couple weeks I've been kind of experimenting with this whole new twin flame duality thing. In the mornings I've been focusing on the yang polarity. So this would be the twin that's vibrating more at sort of a light masculine or active frequency in the connection at this time. Of course it can vary and go back and forth a lot, so keep that in mind. And that's what I'll be doing now. Then this evening, my cards are not cooperating, I will be doing the yin reading for your sign as well, Leo, which will focus more on the shadowy, feminine, or passive side. In both cases, it's regardless of gender. So if you find that this reading does not resonate as much, please check out this evening's reading. A note to cross-watchers: while I never intend for these readings to be a method of spying on one's twin flame, if you are a cross-watcher, I don't judge at all. I simply ask that you use your discernment, as I will be using the term you throughout the reading, in this case to refer to Leo Yang, and then this evening to Yin. Now, I know it sounds a little complicated, but it's actually been going rather smoothly and well for me so far as me channeling the different energies through spirit. And so we're going to go with it for a little bit. Having said that, the channel is still rather small. I'd love to reach more people, so any likes, shares, subscriptions, all that good stuff would be greatly appreciated, Leo. So I've pre-shuffled these 3 decks that are already here on the table. I'm going to start out the reading by splitting or cutting the I Ching of Love Oracle deck and getting 2 cards as an overall theme for the reading. Kane, no! Kane! He keeps trying to mess with my Mona Lisa Afghan. Y'all see him over there in the corner? Don't do that! Alright, so the first card is 51. It says Fatal Event. 5 plus 1 is 6. Then we have 10, which comes down to a 1. It says Your Inner Guide. Anything exciting out there, boy? Alright, let me read the meanings for those out of the book here. 51 says, Fatal Event. The Oracle's advice is to live this moment of intensity for what it is. It will leave an intimate and everlasting trace in your life. Enter deeply into the present moment. Feel yourself quivering. Listen to that quiver. Let the heart speak to the heart. It happens. We only need to eliminate every obstacle to its happening. It is only in this way that love continues to recreate itself. Okay, so picking up a little bit of a scorpionic death card transformation vibe from that. But take it as it resonates. And then the next card, 10, says, Your Inner Guide. The Oracle reminds you that within you there is a guide able to root you in happiness, yet you do not use it, so that you are not aware of it. Don't worry. It can be revitalized. Indeed, it must be awakened if you want to live love to the fullest. Okay, so being aware of your inner guide. Good advice for all of us. Let me clear these off the table really quickly. My English teacher would be proud of my grammar there really quickly. Alright, and then I'll put these up here and we'll lay out the tarot. Kane, what are you getting into, boy? Meow. I know. Alright, so I'm going to split this deck as well, which I shuffled on camera for y'all during my intro. Alright, so for the top row, we have Strength. Wow, representing right off the rip, Leo, that's your Major Arcana card. Next we have the 7 of Coins. Please ignore my nails, by the way, which you probably would have if I hadn't said anything. And I realize nobody gives a shit, but I didn't have time to do them this morning. So the 7 of Coins is Taurus energy. Alright. Next we have the Star. Major Arcana for Aquarius energy. Then the Emperor, another major, this one for Aries. So 3 out of 4 majors so far. This might be an especially significant message. Bottom row, we have the Queen of Wands. This I see as Aries energy as well, but it can also be you, Leo, or Sagittarius. Then we have Ten of Swords, Gemini energy. The Two of Coins, Capricorn energy. And then we have the Empress right below the Emperor, which is major arcana for Libra and Taurus. That's very interesting. And you guys are the first sign so far, either yin or yang, that have gotten the Emperor and the Empress in a reading. So, I've already pre-shuffled this Pocket Edition Radiant Rider-Waite deck for clarification. Let's begin. So, most of you are probably familiar with the whole runner-chaser dynamic within Twin Flame connections that often occurs. The first card, Strength, is a message from Spirit to be addressed to the runner. So if you find yourself operating more like a runner, so if you have more of like an avoidant attachment style, if you tend at times to ghost your twin as a way of avoiding confrontation or conversation, if you find yourself running from the connection in a myriad of ways, you could be partnering up with other people in an attempt to forget your twin. You could push them away with rudeness or arrogance. Excuse me. I don't say that for everyone. I'm not criticizing anyone. I have more Leo than anything else in my chart, but it's well known that one of the possible lower vibrations that Leos can operate from is, excessive pride to the point of ego. So I am seeing here that if you see yourself as being in a runner energy, that this comes from a place of feeling like you are strong enough, that, the twin flame connection has probably put you through a lot of crap. I know it has in my case, and that's fairly common. And so your way of dealing with that, by running, you don't see that as a weakness, and I'm not saying it is. I'm simply saying that here Spirit is saying that you're operating from a place that you believe is strength. So whether that includes for you the compassion component, I wouldn't venture to say, but I guess, I am venturing to say, from personal experience, probably not so much, but there is that element of courage, overcoming something that may create fears within you. So Spirit is saying that they see you, that they see that you are trying to be strong when you split from the connection. We all have free will, and perhaps there are times when it feels overwhelming and it feels too difficult to, commit yourself to. And we all are supposed to focus on ourselves anyway, and on raising our own vibrations so that we can be a better match for our twin as they raise theirs as well. So, having said all that, I'm going to go ahead and see what else Spirit has to say about the Strength card. Spirit, okay. Right away, we have the Four of Swords. This clarifier card for these positions sometimes means different things. It can just emphasize the method that you use to run from your twin. In this case, it's specifically pointing to a way to address this. It's pretty vague and broad, but of course everyone is different. The Four of Swords is Libra energy, and it talks about taking some time out for yourself to rest, rejuvenate. It's like a minor arcana version of the Hermit card, the way that I see it. I've heard that before from other readers as well. So it can be about going within, meditating, contemplating, getting in touch with your higher self and the divine. So Spirit is simply saying that that can be a way for you to address this when you have these urges to escape a situation. Even if you feel like you're being strong by doing so, perhaps there's a need to look within at inner wounds that may need to be healed. And the Four of Swords is about healing as well. Moving on to the next card, the Seven of Coins, is addressed to if you find yourself more in the chaser energy. So if you're the one who generally reaches out first to your twin, if you spend a lot of time thinking about it, obsessing over it, waiting for results, I'm adding that in there too because of the nature of the Seven of Coins, which is about having planted all your seeds, taking a pause to take stock and look at what you've invested, waiting for it to come to fruition. At that point, if you cut your losses, you might be losing a lot, but you're still able to. It's before that Eight of Coins step where you really plunge in fully for that last push of the hardest work and mastery that you can put toward the issue. So this is saying that you know, as a chaser, and especially if you find that you know deep within, or you feel or think that you should not be reaching out to your twin flame, because, you know, you don't want to appear too needy or whatever, but you find yourself doing it anyway, making excuses like, well, you know, we have been on and off lovers for 10 years. It's not that unusual to wish them a Merry Christmas. You know, like if you're in a no contact situation or whatever, then, you know, you would probably be the chaser. So I do say this in the other readings as well. I'm sorry to be repetitive, but I find it important to say within each reading that if this has anything to do with some type of abuse or like more of a narcissist empath type of paradigm, then I am not suggesting that anyone should try to be strong and push through and stick in that union. I'm not a professional, so I would suggest that you seek professional help and support from family and friends for that issue, and I would never recommend that anyone go back to an abusive situation. Now, having said all that, if you are the chaser or find yourself being that way sometimes, with the Seven of Coins, I already talked about what the card means. This is really about patience. It can be frustrating, you know, planting all your seeds, perhaps doing whatever you can to be you know, there for your twin, and then feeling like they're only running from you. If you're finding yourself in this position, it's wise to stop, see what you've invested, and then, you know, wait for a sign from spirit. More often than not, I find that, you know, I saw this thing by James Dobson years ago, and we'll get back to the cards in a second, but I find this relevant here, especially since it hasn't popped into my memory in years. He talked about how if you're person A, let me get on camera here, I'm so confused by it. Okay, so if you're person A, and then this is person B. Oops, straighten up. Okay, so person B, like, goes, okay, I need some space. And then if you're the chaser, person A tends to go, wait, why? Ooh, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. And so then person B goes, hey, I said I need some space, leave me alone. And then it's like, no, you know what I'm saying? However, if person B, the runner, goes, hey, I need some space. Oh, this is horrible, you guys. And then person A goes, okay, I understand. Either I'll back off a little bit more, you know, while you go this way, or I'll stand still. Eventually, what you'll find happens, especially if it is a true twin flame connection, you will find that person B who was running will then go, hey, wait, why aren't you chasing me? And they'll start to slowly come back. So I'm sorry for the horrible finger thing there. It didn't work out quite like I envisioned, but I think you get my point, Leo. I don't think I need any clarification on that Seven of Coins. I'm going to move on. The two of you are drawn together by a mutual sense of destiny, of fate, of being guided by the divine, that the connection is ultimately healing. It gives you hope. It gives you, with the Star card, that's why I'm addressing that, but I want a little bit more information. So let's see. Spirit, why is Leo and their twin flame drawn? Okay. Further emphasizing the spiritual aspect of the connection, we have the High Priestess flipping over, which is major arcana for Cancer and Pisces. So this has caused the two of you to perhaps seek out spiritual knowledge, esoteric information. You know, you might not have even been aware, you might not have really thought much about things like reincarnation before, or the afterlife, or, you know, what true love really means beyond the physical, or just even beyond the emotional, because the High Priestess is a very spiritual card, and it also has that element, that component of silence within it. So it's not like the two of you have to discuss it all the time or tell other people. It's just this deep inner knowing that the two of you are led by the same star in the same direction, eventually to unite. And if that sounds corny, well, sorry not sorry, that really can be the way it is. So next, with the Emperor. What is so great about your connection? It empowers you both. I'm picking up kind of, this is very specific, but for one of my viewers out there, or maybe more than one, although I don't have a lot at this time yet, hopefully that will change. Little plug there. But no, in all seriousness, I have a feeling that maybe one or both of you at some time just kind of gave up on the idea of marriage. And even if it's not technically marriage, you know, some form of binding, you know, contract where you were deciding that you were each other's person, you know, you might have kind of lost faith and hope in that kind of thing, and just figured, well, we all have a million soulmates, hopefully I'll wind up with one that I can stand more often than I can't. But with the Emperor there, it's showing me like kind of a renewed faith in the whole sanctity of marriage, whether legal or not. That's all I'm picking up from that. And I'm going to try to clarify that a little bit more. I mean, it's also about standing in your power. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so this is telling me that, you know, the Emperor obviously is a very high value individual, whether male or female. So with the Ace of Pentacles, it's given you, as you know, along with this sort of spiritual tie that you feel on a very deep level. In the material realm, you also feel like this has helped you to boss up or level up somehow. Like it's made you, the Pentacles doesn't have to be about money, but even if you have like a new sense of values or ethics or morals or whatever revolving around your newfound spiritual wisdom, with the Seven of Cups, this has also made you feel like you had many more options to choose from in the world. It's enabled you to dream again about the possibilities. So all these things, of course, are very positive, and they're being pointed out by Spirit as what is great about your connection. Now when we get to the complications, the Queen of Wands, I often see her maligned. No, I'm kind of joking. I don't dare to comment on other readers. Some of them I love, some of them I don't, but we all have our own styles, right? But she's often referred to as the other woman, and sort of given a bad rep, like in the sense that, you know, she's very sexy and she can sort of lure men away from their true spouse. She's in the upright here, though, and for me, the Queen of Wands, honestly, she's probably my favorite queen. Her and the Queen of Swords, although I'm technically a Cancer sun, so I should identify most with the Queen of Cups. But I digress, this is not about me. The Queen of Wands can complicate your connection. The Queen of Wands is very attractive. She's very, even when not selfish, as she is in the upright, she can be seen as very self-focused or self-centered. Not perhaps maliciously, but she sees what she wants. She knows that she's going to get it. She goes after it. She has confidence. Very attractive, charismatic, and charming. So this can complicate matters because perhaps you or your twin or both are very highly sought out by other partners, which can of course lead to sexual temptation. Now, whether or not you and your twin have any kind of agreement of exclusivity on the physical connection front, this can of course cause jealousy. It can cause a loss of trust, a feeling of betrayal, that kind of thing. It can be that, or it can be, of course, that, you know, one of the weapons that the enemy uses against you, which I see as, you know, kind of like the devil energy in a sense, although it can have a good meaning to that card too. In the tarot, it's sort of like that can also be something that pulls you away. So not only are the two of you very attractive to other people, but it may be the case that you find that you're often tempted, that you're often having other attractive options sort of, you know, thrown right in your face. The Queen of Wands is definitely not subtle, even in the upright. So that's something to keep in mind. I don't think that needs any further clarification. However, the next card certainly will, because I'm not... Okay, I can see on one hand how your twin may be healing you through you having gone through the cycle of swords and the tarot, ending at the 10, and therefore being able to start anew. But it's at the same time, it's pretty much the most painful ending you can have. So I'm going to clarify how that's healing. The only thing I'll say before I get the clarifiers is that, as I was kind of alluding to a moment ago, when you do go through all this pain, and again, please don't consider this any kind of, you know, what's the word, when you acceptance of abuse. I'm not talking about physical pain or anything of that nature, but you know, when you and your twin flame harm or you hurt each other emotionally, mentally, you know, with confusion, that kind of thing, and you just reach like the bottom where you kind of feel hopeless about the connection itself, and you know, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So I can see that by, you know, in a way, being driven to go within and heal because there's nothing else you can do. Obviously, suicide is not an option. So if you're at that point where it seems like there's nothing left and there's no hope, you know, there's only one thing to do, and that's heal. So I'm going to go ahead and stop rambling, though, and see what Spirit has to say about it. Spirit, please show me 3 cards or less for Leo Yang. Wow. Okay, we got more swords. I think I'm going to have to ask for another one because we got the 5 of swords. So, okay, perhaps this brings to light, Leo, how you have sabotaged yourself perhaps throughout your life. Not saying that, you know, it was all your fault if you wound up in the 10 of swords. Obviously, if your twin was, y'all were in union and everything was hunky-dory and they were a perfect partner, then you wouldn't be at the 10 of swords. But this is showing, I believe, your part in it. It may become a game for you at times, a twin flame connection. I've been there myself, and while it can be somewhat amusing and entertaining at times, it soon becomes very painful as both of you try to one-up each other, you know, whether that's through just verbal, like, I went through this with one of my exes, a Scorpio, by the way. It was a constant battle, even when we were like having foreplay, you know, gearing up to get busy, or we were just, you know, seemed like we were getting along. It was like I don't mean to brag, but I consider myself to be highly intelligent. My ex was as well. So we would often start out sort of entertaining each other with these verbal barbs and trying to outwit each other and see who was smarter and that kind of energy. And it always wound up in a fight and with one of us leaving or kicking somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So this could be a manner in which you sabotage the connection on your end, or vice versa. But this is how your twin heals you. So I'm thinking that by you entering into that dynamic, you know, Spirit's showing that that's kind of partly how you get there, and perhaps you're recognizing that through this connection. I'm going to clarify the next one as well. The 2 of Coins here, Capricorn energy. This shows how you heal your twin. This 2 of Pentacles, unlike in the traditional Rider-Waite depiction, is actually rather balanced. So it could be that you help your twin to bring certain aspects and priorities of their life into perspective and balance. But I'm going to go ahead and see what I can get there. Spirit, please show me 3 cards or less to clarify the 2. Okay. We have the Page of Pentacles. I do see this as being confirmation that, and that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, by the way, that this helps your twin to, so I see the Page of Pentacles as a student. You know, it causes them to learn, to gain more information so that they're able to balance things back out. And then perhaps they are in the chaser dynamic when this happens, or the chaser energy, I should say, where they then approach you with a small offer to rebuild from a solid standpoint. Now, having taken all these things into consideration, you know, going through all the different ways in their head of, you know, what they might have done wrong or what they think you may have done, what can they still have out of it to offer, and come to you in a sort of humility, but without humiliating themselves. You know, the Page of Pentacles can be kind of a humble energy with a small offering, but it's towards something solid and secure. So, bearing that in mind, the final card here is the Empress. This is the energy of the 2 of you together, and since it's directly below the Emperor as well, I see it as, you know, I hate this phrase because it's overused, but the power couple thing is really a good way to kind of sum it up. You know, when the 2 of you are together, it's obvious that you're divine counterparts. People probably take notice of you. You know, when you're together, you probably really stand out. You're both attractive, abundant. There's a lot of growth here. Nurturing, beauty, it's just like a Midas touch almost kind of energy, although it's not only material, it's spiritual and emotional as well. That's just, the 2 of you go together. Alright. I think I'm going to leave that there. That seems pretty straightforward enough. And I'm going to end the reading by pulling 2 cards, from the Twin Flame Oracle deck, which I also pre-shuffled before I hit record, if I could speak. Okay, we have Destruction. Well then, it says Tower Moment, Unexpected Change, New Opportunities. I'm looking at that Ace of Pentacles right there, clarifying the Emperor too. I'm thinking that even if you have an upcoming Tower Moment, which I'm sorry to say, but you probably already know, if you're on this journey, those can be quite common along the path. So be aware that that might be coming. I see that as a predictive card here, but that, you know, with that Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles and all that going on in the spread here, that, you know, it will probably be a temporary setback. And then we have big goals: career, business, success. Claim your place in the world. All right. You guys have had actually one of the most positive, energetic readings of all of the signs I've done so far. So keep that in mind. And with that last card there, keep working on yourself, Leo. You are the king of the zodiac, and, you know, there's absolutely no missing that. I love y'all, and I will see you again soon. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Come back this evening, and if you want to see the yin half. Bye, Leo.